Today, I will be discussing online disinhibition. What it is, what it looks like, what causes it, all that stuff. So first off, you're probably thinking, what is online disinhibition? Well, it's when one becomes disassociated from their self-principles, their morals, and their personality while online. It sounds kind of crazy how a person can lose their own sense of self while on the internet, but it's more common than we think. How does something like this even happen? According to Dr. John Suler, online disinhibition is caused by dissociative anonymity, invisibility, asynchronicity, solipsistic introjection, dissociative imagination, and minimization status of authority. Because we are not our true selves while experiencing online disinhibition, researchers such as Udris found that we are more likely to engage in cyberbullying. There are two types of online disinhibition: benign disinhibition and toxic disinhibition. Cyberbullying is a result of this. Let's take a look on what these are. Benign disinhibition is when a person reveals way too much about themselves, making them feel vulnerable and exposed. They are overly generous online, which can lead to them feeling kind of anxious. Here's an example of how that looks like.
Personal information, which includes things like your favorite books, movies, quotations, etc., were publicly shared by 79% of women who describe themselves as lonely, compared to only 65% of connected users. And this pattern extends to highly personal information as well. Almost 98% of these self-described lonely Facebookers had publicly shared their relationship status on Facebook, and they were also significantly more likely than others to publicly post their home address.
Toxic disinhibition is when a person is very rude online. They are threatening and enjoy watching videos of crime and violence that show no remorse for victims. They are typically creating excuses for their online activity and show no character growth. This is how that looks like.
So what was going on through your mind when you were doing it? The cyberbullying?
It's hard to picture myself like that. You know, I'd always thought of bullies as people at school who pick on you. But when you do it online, you don't even realize that you're doing it. You can't see the other people, and you can do or say anything, and it doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't feel real.
Cyberbullying is typically a result from toxic disinhibition. A person is targeted by online strangers or even friends who opt anonymous. The victim of cyberbullying can become depressed and even anxious. This is an example of a victim of cyberbullying. We lose our sense of humanity through online disinhibition. Researcher Casale found that decreased POSI leads to PIU. What do all these crazy letters mean? It means that when our perceptions of online social interactions are lowered, it leads to problematic internet use. How do we fix online disinhibition? We have to remember that there are people on the other side of the computer who also have feelings. We need to speak to others online as we would in real life. This can prevent the loss of humanity on online interactions. The internet can be a really cool place for people to connect and make new friends. Let's keep the internet a positive place and remind ourselves and others to always be respectful.
Created using Powtoon.